Behind these crumbling walls are tales of torture, death, and restless spirits that still walk the halls. Did you know one of the most haunted places in America isn't a house, hotel, or battlefield, but a prison? A place meant to reform became a chamber of silence, madness, and death. Behind these thick stone walls, prisoners were left to rot in isolation, and many never made it out alive. And today, some say they never truly left. Welcome to Eastern State Penitentiary, a fortress of forgotten screams and one of the most haunted prisons in America. Now we discuss the birth of a nightmare, history of Eastern State Penitentiary. It began as a grand experiment in 1829 in Philadelphia. The goal? To change how criminals were treated, not through violence, but through total isolation. Eastern State Penitentiary was one of the first prisons to use solitary confinement as the main form of punishment. Each inmate had a small, windowless cell, a tiny slit in the ceiling for light, and a solid wooden door, soundproof and sealed. They weren't allowed to speak. They weren't allowed to see other humans. Even during rare times outside, they wore hoods over their heads. The goal was penitence, to reflect, to change. But what actually happened was far darker. The intense isolation led to mental breakdowns. Many inmates descended into madness. Some mutilated themselves. Others took their own lives. Even so, the prison became a model around the world, inspiring over 300 similar institutions. But it wasn't just the system that was cruel. The punishments were worse. Instruments of silence and suffering. For those who broke the rules of silence, Eastern State had punishments that bordered on medieval. One of the most feared was the iron gag, a terrifying device that clamped a metal collar around the neck and a spike into the tongue, chained to the wrists. If the prisoner moved or spoke, the device would tear their mouth apart. Others were subjected to ice baths in winter, then hung out in freezing air. Some were chained to the walls for days without food or water. The intention wasn't just to punish, but to erase, to make men disappear in silence. Hundreds are believed to have died inside these walls. Many were buried in unmarked graves on the prison grounds. Some believe their souls never moved on. And once the prison was shut down in 1971, the silence it once enforced was replaced by whispers. When the hauntings began. Soon after Eastern State closed, strange things started happening. Tour guides, security guards, and early visitors reported hearing footsteps echoing down empty hallways, feeling icy chills in sealed rooms, and doors slamming shut by themselves. The most chilling stories come from Cellblock 12, where even hardened staff members refuse to enter alone. Visitors have described sudden nausea, headaches, and the sensation of being watched. One woman fainted in Cellblock 4, claiming she felt something grab her arm, but no one was there. Another visitor captured a photo of a dark shadow figure standing in the corner of a cell, when the room was empty. Paranormal investigators have flooded the site for years, and almost all of them leave with evidence they can explain. EVP recordings have picked up distant screams, whispers saying, "Leave," and chilling laughter when the building was supposedly empty. And that's just the beginning. The most haunted spots inside Eastern State isn't just generally haunted. It's known for very specific hotspots where paranormal activity is off the charts. Let's explore the most chilling locations inside the prison Cellblock 4. The Shadow Man. Guards have reported seeing a dark figure dashing between cells, but every time they investigated, the corridor would be empty, silent. Some tourists described the sensation of being followed. Others claim to have seen glowing eyes peering through cell bars. Cellblock 12. Disembodied Voices. This block is infamous for loud whispering, echoing screams, and heavy dragging sounds, even when no one is there. Paranormal teams using voice recorders have picked up EVPs that say things like, "Help me," "Still here," "Don't look." It's so active, many refuse to investigate it after dark. Death Row, where the air is heavy. This area is colder than the rest, and not just temperature-wise. People report an overwhelming sense of dread and despair the moment they step in. Several ghost hunters have left mid-investigation due to nausea, sharp headaches, and even nosebleeds. Others have described being scratched or pushed, and not by anything they could see. The Guard Tower, Silent Watcher. At night, flickering lights have been spotted in the old guard tower, though it hasn't had electricity in years. Witnesses have claimed to see a figure standing at the window, watching, but when security goes to check, the tower is empty and locked. Ghosts versus psychology. What's really happening? Some say these are just stories, exaggerated tales fueled by fear, the power of suggestion, or decaying architecture playing tricks on the senses. And sure, skeptics have explanations. The massive stone walls can trap and reflect sound, making whispers seem like they come from nowhere. Cold drafts from old ventilation shafts can create sudden chills. Flickering shadows? They blame poor lighting or dust. But what science can't explain is the sheer consistency of the reports. Thousands over decades, from tourists to guards to experienced investigators, all sharing similar experiences without knowing each other, when the same places cause the same physical and emotional reactions. Even skeptics start to wonder, could there be more than just history trapped inside these walls? Pop culture, tours, and modern-day hauntings. Eastern State's dark reputation hasn't gone unnoticed. It's been featured in major paranormal shows like Ghost Hunters, BuzzFeed Unsolved, and Ghost Adventures, all of which captured evidence they couldn't explain. Today, the prison operates as a historic site and museum, open to visitors by day and by night. Each Halloween season, it transforms into one of the most terrifying haunted attractions in the world. Terror behind the walls. But here's the twist. Even the actors working the haunted house have reported real experiences. Doors locking by themselves. Lights going out mid-show. Ghostly figures appearing in costume, only to vanish when approached. The line between staged horror and true haunting becomes terrifyingly thin. Can a place be cursed by its past? Eastern State Penitentiary was built to reform the human soul, but ended up crushing it. It became a monument to isolation, madness, and pain. Now, long after the cells have emptied, the cries of the forgotten still echo through its corridors. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is clear. Some places carry more than just history. They carry a presence. If you believe that the shadows of the past never truly fade, subscribe to Urban Lore, where haunted history lives on.